Alongside Jeff Woody, Richard Cross, glad to have you along. They call it the Mecca of FCS football, Washington Grizzlies Stadium, and we are underway. Their catch made in the end zone, and the Jackrabbits offense will start at the 25-yard line. So now 1st and 15 for the Jackrabbits before they run a play. Mason was moving back and fortunate not to get a false start there. He delivers a strike to his tight end, Coleman Kuntz. This crowd in full throat early. Mason with time. Dumps it over the middle. That's complete. That is a first down. 2nd and 13. Mason, pressure coming. Lets it go sidearm, and it's intercepted. Taken away by T.J. Roush. That's his 3rd interception of the year. A diving effort just across midfield.
Inexperienced, got a little bit jumpy. He is a much better player this year than last.
On the ground, here's Eli Gilman with a burst up the middle. Jason Verso normally wears 95. He is out today. Swing pass to the outside. It's Wortham. They want the ball in his hands, and that is why. Good speed in the open field for another Grizz first down. Watch 84. He's lined up at the H-back on the right. See if they can get behind him. Stacked up and dropped. And the Jackrabbit defense stands tall. It was 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. 4 plays and no points for the Grizz. Time. And across the middle. What a catch in the open field. And now a chance for a massive play. That's Graham Goring trying to take it the distance. A touchdown. 95 yards. Chase Mason on the money to Graham Goring for the touchdown. Eli Stater on to try the extra point. Splits the uprights, and it's the Jackrabbits that strike first. And off is to Gilman again. And he's stacked up at the line. No gain on the 2nd down carry. Rocker back into the game. He's off the left hit of Ayat. Davis is the motion man. Ayat with time, steps up, and now just flip it down the field. He's got a wide open receiver. That's Stevie Rocker Jr. Snuck out of the backfield. A touchdown, an answer for the Grizz.
Give up a big pass. If you play back to the pass, Ayat's going to scramble. That's a big play, and another big moment as the extra point hits the upright.
His alma mater, where he played linebacker, his defensive coordinator at Idaho a year ago. Returnable kick this time. Out across the 30, and then Jack Smith is bounced out of bounds. Mason, deep ball. And it's hauled in by Alex Bullock. Went up and got it at its highest point. They brought Jared Ramos in along that defensive line at 6'4", 287. So some bigger bodies for the Grizz. Chase Mason behind center. Quarterback sneak straight ahead. Didn't need much. That should be enough for the first down. 3 backs in the backfield. Josiah Johnson is the deep back. Ball out on the ground, picked up by Mason, and he's just going to fall forward into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. Near disaster turns into a score for the Jackrabbits. They bounced back in the regular season finale with a win over North Dakota. And then last week in the first round of the playoffs, 41-3 over New Hampshire in the return of Chase Mason. They clock at 10. Now it's Finch motioning across the formation and back again. They give it to Gilman. He's trying to get to the outside. Gilman to the 20. Gilman to the 10, and he's dropped inside the 10-yard line. So Ayat back in. 3rd and goal. Steps up, or tries to at least, but he is surrounded by white jerseys. He had 50 and 51 there. Logan Green. Joe Silver will try the field goal. 36-yard effort is through the uprights, and that makes it a 5-point game. 14-9, Jackrabbits in front. 15-yard penalty takes it out to the 40. Chase Mason, he is harassed, and he is dropped. Solo Tuliaupupu with the sack. Wortham is the motion man. Ayat looking to throw.
Oh, I'm not. I feel you.
And he's got Wortham on the far sideline. A big chunk play there. Jordan, you've watched. Ayat with Gilman to his left. Gilman bounces it out to the right side. Kind of gave a different look because you had Schaefer blocking to the left side, and normally you would follow the big tight end, but instead Gilman goes to the right.
Yeah, and anytime you see 84 moving, he's going to try and take somebody's head off, and so as a defense, you're aware of that. Nice misdirection by Coach Peace.
Third time today the Grizz have had it inside the 10-yard line, and this time they cash it in with a touchdown. Eli Gilman with his 18th rushing touchdown of the season. Different look on the formation here. They snap it out to the wide side, going for two. That was Brooks Davis trying to pick his way into the end zone. We get a cannon shot, even though they didn't get the two, but the Grizz did get 6, and they take the lead.
They were trailing most of the game until...
And it's blocked. Wobbling across midfield. Drew Deck comes up and saves some yardage, covering that one up at the 41-yard line. Remember, Montana will get the ball to start the second half. This is complete to Wortham. He gets a block, trying to get to the outside. Wortham inside the 40-yard line. He is electric in the open field. Ayat from the pistol, fakes it to Rocker, takes a shot toward the end zone, incomplete, but a flag comes in.
The Graham Harrell offense, but it's a defensive team.
Ayat throws, touchdown! He gets it to Rocker, slipped out of the backfield. Ayat looked the other way, fired it back to his left. Montana executes perfectly for the score. Silver with the extra point, a cannon blast, and it's an 8-point lead for the Grizz.
Looks like Diesel Wilkinson is the deepest at 8 yards.
Mason with time, and it's incomplete.
Just outside of where they could potentially think about going for it.
Pelham hits this one end over end. Fair catch called for. It hits inside the 5. Can they keep it out of the end zone?
They were tubing on the field with the mascot of the Grizz in a truck driven by Santa. The real sentence that I just said.
Gilman gets to the outside. What a patient run.
Once you get through it, you're in the red zone. You can become in the scoring territory. If they're able to convert this first down, expect to see Michael Wortham in some funky situations. Wortham
in the slot, empty backfield. Ayat, one-on-one, outside. Touchdown, Grizz. Drew Deck with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Who hit the upright on his first extra point try of the game. Has been good since as a field goal. Ooh, and he slipped that one in the right upright. Nearly another block punt. Is that on your flight that took a little longer than you planned?
7-hour flight from Denver through Bozeman.
Ayat buying time, throws. What a nice grab by Brooks Davis. Ayat with a little bit of time, sliding out to his left, hit a crosser. Seems to be taking over.
You know, I'm here for it.
Chilly for that, but okay. Out of the backfield, this is Rocker. Third down coming up, and once again, a big third down.
Excited at the end of that. I really like, this is a new rule that they've allowed. Like, you're not, you know, the Reggie Bush tush-push thing, that originally was illegal to push the ball carrier from behind, but it's so hard to legislate. I really like that they've allowed that to happen so these scrums can move the ball.
Ayat down the middle of the field, touchdown! Wortham with the catch. And the Grizz are now feeling it here in Missoula.
Now, they're down 35, potentially 36 to 14. They've got to score 22 points in 13 minutes. And they also have to hold an offense that had 480 yards to not scoring. That was a massive drive for Montana. Every play here is magnified because of the game situation and where we are in the season.
Mason lets it fly. He's got a man, turned him around, hauled it in. What a catch for Alex Bullock. 11th meeting all time. Montana leads the series 8-2. South Dakota State has won the last two. His pass is caught. Probably could have thrown a flag for an early bump. Mason looks toward the end zone, fires, it's Goring, incomplete, knocked away at the very end. Three receivers, bottom of the formation. Mason fires, complete to Goring. If he didn't get in, he did get a first down. They're going to say short of the goal line, but a first and goal for the Jackrabbits. All right, well, they go quarterback sneak again here with Chase Mason. Mason straight ahead, reaches the ball out. No signal yet. There it is. Well, now a touchdown. Touchdown signal. Sorry for the anticlimactic call there. Referee coming in from the far sideline, signaled touchdown, then he dropped an arm, and then he raised both arms again. Ball from the left hash. Mason will move as he spreads the formation out. 36-20 with 10:18 remaining after the second rushing touchdown of the day for Mason. He's looking back to the left. He's got an eligible man wide open. That is John Pica. They changed his jersey on the sideline to an eligible receiver number, and he makes the catch.
Number 56, the right tackle, ran back to the sideline. They put number 83 on him. They knew they were going to run the quarterback sneak. At the point when they get it, we're going to run this play, throw it to number 83, catch the defense off guard after motioning our Quentin Christensen to a slot receiver position.
Allowing the play clock to work its way down. They flip it to Davis. Brooks Davis going to be able to run for the first down. Faked it to Gilman, flipped it to Davis on the end around. Montana's going to be able to take this inside 6.5 minutes to play before they snap it. Ayat looking to go to the air. He completes it to Bohannon, who works to the inside. He gets inside the 15. That is down close to a first down. He's going to be a yard short. Joe Ullman brought him down. 5 minutes to play. Ayat fakes the throw, hands it off behind his back. Gilman with the exclamation mark into the end zone for the Grizz.
Wortham is the curveball. Brooks Davis is the slider. They went back to their fastball in an unconventional way. The Statue of Liberty fake pass handed off behind the back to your offensive player of the year in the Big Sky to get it back to a 3-score lead with 3 touchdowns. Montana and Eli Gilman may have just punched their ticket to the quarterfinals.
4:54 to play.
Really, really hard despite that big right arm.
Third down play. Pressure coming up the middle. Mason rolling to his left, flips it back across his body, and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda hauls it in for a first down.
Incredible talent.
Mason stands in, lets this one fly. He's got a wide open receiver. That's Garcia Castaneda hauling it in again inside the 5-yard line. On the ground toward the corner, that's James Basinger into the end zone for a touchdown. South Dakota State scores quickly. So the extra point is good. And that makes it a 14-point game. Ann's team of 8 across the 45-yard line. Looking for the big hop. They got the big hop, but it's recovered. A great job there by Brooks Davis. He went high and snatched it out of the air. That was a perfectly executed kick where you got the low skip and then the high bounce. Malai Fanoti in the backfield, but it's Wortham, and he will try to slide down inbounds, had his feet go out from under him, and he goes out of bounds, but
Montana wants to get some guys who hadn't played as much on the game.
Jensen hands it to Fanoti. Fanoti into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana. An extra point away from half 100.
Now, does that touchdown mean anything to anybody other than Fanotti? No. But that's a great moment for this Montana Grizz team.
Green on the return. He gets out to the 28-yard line.
Rematch round number 2. Looks like the potential outcome on this side of the bracket for who gets to be in control of that championship hunt.
If it gets to that point, this time it'll be in Bozeman.
That's such a tight game. However, South Dakota handled their opponent, won by more than 49. Yes, we got a backflip on the field. This Montana Grizzlies team looked very impressive today.
50-29 going to be the final score. Montana with the win, now 12-1 on the season. And they will get South Dakota here in Missoula next weekend.